Hey everyone, it's me Ryan here, MandRproductions, and welcome to Ask MandRproductions episode 31, the series where I answer your questions. All you have to do is leave me a comment with a question in it down below in the comment section, and you'll have a chance for it to be answered next week. So, without further ado, I want to start out this video by telling you guys that Amazon is having some really good deals on LEGO Star Wars sets right now. You get 20% off a lot of different sets. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start out with our first question from the Brick Wiz, and he said, what is your favorite memory from Brick World Chicago 2017, because that's the only year I have been. So my favorite memory is definitely going to be when we were playing around on the Scarif Mock, and by we I mean like myself, Everett, Lego Spencer, Chris, and maybe a few others. You'll see the video here in a second, but essentially there's like this motorized train that rode through Scarif, and we were just kind of sending it back and forth, and let's just roll the clip.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's moving in that direction.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I think.
They're off. Ain't coming back.
Achievement. We stand
Not
here. It's
yours.
my achievement.
That was loud. That was good. That was really loud.
Hey, stop. That's good. Blast it. Oh wait, that's good.
Open the door.
How about we just don't have a train?
Okay.
This is train. Oh no! Don't do that.
Send it back!
Oh, she's coming.
Watch out!
Start fire!
No way.
There was a funnier moment during Chicago 2017. I remember now. The time I hid under the Rebel Lug table during the Rebel Lug meeting when Danny told me I couldn't be at the Rebel Lug meeting because I wasn't in Rebel Lug.
So I'm hiding under the table because they're having their Rebel Lug meeting. But Danny wanted me to get out, I think. But I'm just gonna hide under here. Under the table.
Are you going on Ryan or Joe?
My God!
This one angers me a lot. Wait, this one angers me. Okay, I don't want to come back to this.
If we make Tinder
I
log,
can
then he'll be in.
understand what?
If we make Tinder log, then he'll be in.
El Camino.
Raise your hand if you said no for Ryan. Let's be honest. There should be 4 hands. I don't care who it is. I just want to eliminate it.
Who though?
Okay, I don't care. I don't care. They're not.
I will never forget that, and it will never work again because now they're going to check under the tables every time they have a meeting. It was a great time. I would highly recommend you guys go to Brick World Chicago, Brick Fair, Virginia, or any type of LEGO event if you can. It totally is worth it, especially if you have friends that are going. That's what kind of makes the event for me, so it's an awesome event. So are other events around the world. Mavio7 says, which set do you think needs a remake in another color? So sets we've seen remade in different colors are sets like you can see behind me, Pose X-Wing and the Resistance X-Wing. Then we also had the Sand Speeder / Snow Speeder kind of thing. So those are a couple examples of sets that have been swapped colors throughout the years. So there's a couple sets I would like to see recolored, such as the Resistance Bomber from Star Wars The Last Jedi. I would love to see it in a red color. And I would also love to see the Republic gunship get a paint job. Maybe like an ARC gunship. That would just be really cool. Doesn't really matter to me. I would just like to see it in a different color. Preston Crawford says, do you think LEGO should make a Titanic set with around 3,000 pieces? Now, I don't know about the piece count or anything, but I think a Titanic set would be awesome. It would be iconic, and it would probably sell well because the Titanic is very, very well known, especially thanks to the movie. But on top of that, it was just a very notable disaster because of the story behind it. And I would love to see some type of giant LEGO boat. I've always been fascinated by ships, especially like cruise ships and stuff, and the Titanic definitely fits in that category for me. I think it could open up possibilities for future LEGO ships, like maybe the Queen Mary 2, or maybe like the Oasis from Royal Caribbean, like just the biggest cruise ship ever. I don't know. It could be a very cool line by LEGO. I think the problem is maybe there isn't a big enough market for a lot of those other ships, the Titanic obviously being the most likely, so I would love to see a Titanic model. I just don't know if it'll happen because it might get too expensive. Captain Jellybean says, what is the most colorful set you have? I don't really have just one answer for this. I have a few here, and the first of which is the Phantom 2. It's just got a bunch of different colors on it. You guys can see it here. Just has a ton of different colors on it. Very, very colorful from Star Wars Rebels. We also have my recently rebuilt Captain Rex's ATT. If you guys didn't know, this thing's been broken for like months. I recently rebuilt it on a live stream with Brickatect, Jinblade, and a few other people, Lego Freak. But yeah, this thing's pretty colorful too. It's got a ton of different colors on it other than like the normal just gray and dark gray that it would have. So very cool to see this kind of in a colorful mood there. And then we also get the Corporate Alliance Tank Droid from 2005, which is just way more colorful than it probably should be. So a lot of orange and blue on there as opposed to kind of the gray color scheme that it should have. But those are like 3 of the most colorful sets I have. Here we have a comment of the week from Derek, and he says, who shot first? Greedo tried to. However, he was using a Lepin stud shooter and the stud would not come out. That's very funny and topical because recently in my Lepin versus Lego type videos, real versus fake, if you guys haven't seen them, I've been testing out the stud shooters, and the Lepin stud shooters do not work very well. So that's a very funny one. I like that. Government Cheese. Wait, what kind of a name? Anyway, he says, would you like to see a Wookiee battle pack? I mean, I think Lego's really opened up the door recently. They've done the Jedi battle pack with Ki-Adi-Mundi and Barriss Offee. They also did the Bounty Hunter battle pack. So I think it's definitely possible we could see Wookiees in a battle pack. Maybe not just a Wookiee-centric battle pack, but maybe Wookiees with a Galactic Marine and a Kashyyyk Trooper. I don't know. I just want a Galactic Marine. That's why I threw it in there. But it would most likely be like 2 Wookiees and 2 Kashyyyk Troopers. You know, maybe in a couple years we could kind of revisit that. I would love to see Wookiees in a battle pack. Will it happen? Who knows? We have another comment of the week from the Banta Brigade, and he says, have you heard the tragedy of Life Bricks the Wise? And then I kind of come in with the MVP comment, and I said, more like the unwise. Flashback Productions says, what do you think of Toys R Us closing all the stores? Honestly, like deep down inside, I'm thinking good riddance. For years and years, Toys R Us has raised their prices on Lego higher than MSRP. We've always complained about it. I don't know why so many people are so sad about this after the years of complaints about their overpriced Lego. So, I mean, at first I was like, oh, this kind of sucks, but then I'm like, you know what? They've ran themselves out of business. They did this to themselves. I remember in late 2010 when I was buying the brand new 2011 sets that they were already hiked up in price right before they had even released. Like, it was a $25 Naboo set, and I paid like $28 for it at Toys R Us like the first day it was there. I was like, what is going on here? So Toys R Us kind of did this to themselves. They priced themselves out, you know? So it sucks to be them, but they did this to themselves. James Arts Bricks UK says, what made you decide to change your profile picture? So I haven't changed my profile picture on YouTube yet, but that is coming. If you guys didn't notice, I did change it on Instagram. My Instagram is MandRproductions if you don't already follow me. But yeah, my friend Jared made me a new kind of profile picture. He also does have an Instagram account called Aimless Creates. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the pinned comment in the description down below. And basically for like $5, you can have a Lego animated version like I'd have of your own like SigFig or whatever you kind of want him to make for you. So you guys could definitely hit him up. He has a few pictures of the work he's done in the past, and he's done all my kind of artwork stuff like that. But essentially he was making stuff for Bricks and Bitch, which is the podcast we're coming out with, Just Too Good, Chris Productions, and myself. In a couple of weeks, the first episode should be out. And basically we were like, yeah, we should probably make new sig figs for this, and so we did, and that's why I changed it. It'll be changing on YouTube soon. I just have to get like a one where I'm waving the hand instead of just kind of straight up like it is on Instagram. The hot topic from last week comes from my skipping of Zach Helmick's question. To this, he says, this is discrimination and I will have my day in court. He later chimed in with another question for this week's episode, quoting, my question is this: how would you respond to allegations that you cheated in park baseball? I have a very reliable source close. I can't do it. I can't do this one. I have a very reliable source close to the situation who has given me details on the matter. And to that I say, this is discrimination and I will have my day in court. Good day, sir. Mr. Astronaut 9 wants to know, and I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know this, but essentially it's like, why can't you ever answer my questions? So if you guys didn't notice, my Ask MandRproductions videos get over 1,000 comments. So I scroll through almost all of those every week. I try to get through all of them, and I pick out basically what I think are the best questions for the next week's episode. So maybe your question wasn't the greatest for this week's episode. Maybe it's a question I have previously answered in one of the previous Ask MandRproductions, or maybe I had just already picked enough questions for this week's episode and I didn't want to pick any more. I don't know what it may be, but I can't answer everyone's question is basically the end all be all of that. There's over 1,000 people asking questions, so If I was going to sit here and answer 1,000 questions a week, nobody would watch this. DJ's Lego says, are you able to grow a beard? And I must say, though, you need to change your username to DJ's Lego, not Legos. Come on, man. You know better. Anyway, if you want a beard, you need to go to Chris Productions or Brickatect. I cannot grow a beard. I can grow like a few hairs like around, but no, there will be no beard on M&R Productions. Das Doodlebug says, hey Ryan, I love the channel. Do you have a specific method when you are building sets? Example, sorting parts before building, etc. Thanks. So I don't have a specific method for like building sets. I just kind of pour the pieces out of the bag that it says to build. I don't like sort them by color or by size or anything. I literally just sort through the parts of the bag that it has me pour out. So I don't have any specific methods. I know some people do different things and that's totally fine, but I don't do anything special. If you guys ever want to watch me build, I occasionally build stuff on live stream and you can get an idea of any method I use there. I don't use methods, so that's how that is. Alright, I had to include this joke. I know I've already done like 2 comment of the weeks, but this one's too funny from Henry, and I hadn't heard it yet. He says, oh yeah, you also probably heard this, but where does Ray go to chill out? The jacuzzi. Get it, guys? Because she lives on Jakku, and jacuzzi's like a hot tub. But I thought that was funny, and I hadn't heard it yet, so I threw it in here. That is going to be a wrap for this week's Ask M&R Productions, guys. If you did enjoy, hit that like button. If any of you have a question for next week's episode of Ask M&R Productions, please leave in the comment section below. I promise I'll read through it, but I can't promise it'll get answered because so many people do ask questions, so please keep that in mind. Don't feel offended if I don't pick your question, please. Thank you. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here, guys. Check out those Amazon deals with the link in the description / pinned comment down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.